In this video, we are gonna learn what Python virtual environments are and how to use them. Once you start developing larger code base, you will start using code written by other developers in the form of modules and packages. You will import several functions using statements like import request, which will import all the functions from request module. You don't want to write the code for connecting to external web addresses to request data. You will simply leverage the code written by other developers. This library is used by thousands of developers and it's proven to be working pretty well. Why would you rewrite the code when you can simply reuse existing battle-tested code? This is just a single example of code that you can simply import and use in your project. There are lots of Python packages that other people have written that we can simply include in our own projects. One great resource to find these external modules and packages is pypy.org. This is Python package index and it includes most of the popular packages in Python. So whatever you want to do in Python, you can simply search on this website. Most probably, you will come across a package for that specific task. When you include these modules or packages in your project, it is said that your project depends on these packages. In other words, these packages are a dependency for your project. To manage these dependencies in your project, Python also provides a package manager like most other languages do. It's called pip. Python installs packages. This is very helpful in resolving dependencies. Let's say you are using package B and a package A, but package A itself depends on different version of package B. Then which version of package B should be installed? This can take a long time to figure out and pip helps us resolve these kinds of dependency conflicts. So that's the main purpose of using pip for resolving dependencies. We can install different dependencies using pip install command. When you use this command, it installs Python packages in global repository called site packages. The good thing is that pip comes with Python installations, so you don't need to install a separate program for it. This resolves project level dependency conflicts, but what if you are working on multiple projects and each project itself depends on different version of a code base? Let's say you are working on multiple projects that use different versions of Django library. One project is using Django 1.9 and another project is using Django 2.2. If you install these packages using pip command, those will be installed in the same global repo and that would conflict with the existing packages. To resolve this, we can use Python virtual environments. Virtualenvs are a great thing. When you start working as a professional developer, most likely you will be using them quite a lot. They are totally different Python environment for each of your projects. So packages and libraries installed in one environment cannot conflict with another. In this video, I'm going to write some commands on the command prompt, but don't worry, it's not very difficult. This will be very basic commands. You can even write down those commands in your notes and save it somewhere so that you can use it for personal or professional projects. I'm going to create a directory sample project 1 on my desktop. To open this directory in my command prompt, I can simply copy this location from here and then type cd for change directory and then right click. It will paste the location I copied for sample project 1. Right click works as paste command in Windows command prompt. In Mac or Linux, you may need to right click and choose paste. Press enter and now I'm inside this directory. I can create virtual environment in Python using python-m vn for virtual environment. Then I specify the name of the virtual environment. Here I simply write env and this will create a virtual environment named env. On Linux or macOS, you can use python 3-m venv env. You can validate that Python 3 command points to Python version 3 installation using python 3-v. It should display Python version as python 3 dot something. This will create a directory env in the current directory and will install all the packages inside this directory once it's activated. We do not need to know what's inside it. Once this command has run successfully, I can activate this virtual environment on macOS or Linux systems using source env bin activate. If you are using Windows system like me, you can use .env scripts activate. And I'm using tab key to autocomplete instead of typing everything myself. Now you can see that my command prompt has changed a little bit. You can see this environment in the parentheses. This means that it is running this local virtual environment we created here. You can deactivate this environment simply by typing deactivate and that will deactivate this virtual env. Let me reactivate. Now I can install any Python dependency and those will be available only inside this virtual environment. First, let's verify we have pip available in this environment. You can check the version of pip installation using pip-v flag, or you can use long form version pip-version. Now you can install any packages using pip commands. Let's install Django. Django is a popular web framework to create web applications very quickly. I can use the command pip install Django to install Django library for any of my web development projects. This will go ahead and download Django library along with its dependencies. We don't have to manually check its dependencies and download them one by one. This installation can take a while, so I will fast forward this part with the magic of video editing. Here you can see that it first looked for Django library and it says downloading Django. Then it is downloading PyTZ package as well as SQL parse package. All these other libraries are dependencies of Django project itself. That's a lot of work pip is doing for us. Now I have all the packages installed and ready for my project. I can open up Python shell to verify the installation. I can import Django and this command will run successfully. If the library was not installed properly, it would throw an error. Let me show you. If I try to import Flask, which is another web framework, you can see that this command fails because there is no module or library installed with this name. I can also install specific version of a library by specifying the version for it. Let's install request library with version 2.24.0. Request library is used to make web requests from your Python code. This will fetch all the dependencies of this library from the internet. Again, I'm going to pause the video for a bit and I'm going to come back once it's finished. If you want to share this project code with other developers, you can simply share the dependency list. You can get those dependencies using pip freeze command. You can see that it lists all the dependencies we installed in this virtual environment. It not only has this Django library, but it also has few other libraries which Django project depends on. That's really cool. Let's see how we can share the dependency list. If you are working in teams, you need to have consistent Python environment. If all of the team members don't have the same environment, the code that works on their computer may not work on yours simply because of having different versions of libraries. You can tell them that you are using these versions of Django and its dependencies, but that's cumbersome. I can save the packages along with their version in a file using pip freeze command. I can use the pip freeze command and pipe the result into a file to save the packages along with their version number. This arrow symbol means to write to a file. We want to create a file named requirements.txt. Now if I go inside this sample project 1 folder, you can see that I have this new file requirements, which is a text file. If I open this file, you can see that it has the same output with package name and the version of the package. The good thing is that now I can share this file with other developers and they simply have to run the pip install command and they will have the exact same environment as I do. Let me show you how you can do that. Let me create a separate folder on my desktop, sample project 2. Let me copy its location. Inside my command prompt, let me first deactivate this environment and navigate to sample project 2 directory. Here I will create a brand new virtual environment, and for a test, let's name it as testenv python-m venv testenv. This will create a folder inside my sample project 2 directory with name testenv. Let me activate this environment by using testenv scripts activate. Again, if you're using macOS or Linux, you can use source testenv bin activate. Now, if I check this directory for my project 2, it has only this directory testenv for my virtual environment. Let's say my colleague has sent me the requirements.txt file and I want to create the same environment as what he has. I can simply copy this requirements.txt file inside my project directory and I can execute the command pip install -r to specify the requirements file. Our file is requirements.txt. Press enter and it will start the installation of all the packages mentioned in the requirements file one by one. This will take a while depending on your internet speed, so I will skip this part and come back once it's finished. Now I can check the Python packages using pip freeze. If I compare this output with the requirements file from project 1, you can see that it looks the same with same version numbers for each of the libraries. So this way you can create the same Python environment for each of the developers in your team. Usually, this file is committed to the source repository along with the project files, so that whenever a new developer joins the team, they can simply pull the repository and run pip install command to get started. This is a standard practice in the industry. Now you know how to use virtual envs, so start using them with your personal projects so that these commands will stick to your brain. I hope this video was informative for you. If you want to support me for creating such video lessons, please like and subscribe to my channel. That helps me keep motivated to create more content like this one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.